Views expressed by Casters Guild members are only the opinions of that member, and that could change from day to day. Guild members may use mature language, but that in no way means they are mature. Listener discretion is advised.
15 years ago, a show debuted on Nickelodeon, one that would change the way we looked at animation and children's entertainment. But then, everything changed when M. Night Shyamalan and the live-action movie attacked. And when the world needed the Avatar the most, it vanished. But my guild and I believe that the new Netflix series might be able to save the fandom. And that's the spell we're casting tonight on Casters Guild. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's episode of Casters Guild. I am your guild master and the Mad King, Rick Perry.
And I didn't even think of a... Fuck it. And I'm Baron Kane, because I don't think of these things on the fly.
And joining us again are the same two guild members we had on our last podcast, because they both promised to be here. Feel free to introduce yourselves.
I'm Ray. That's all. I'm all.
I'm Tiffany, and I seem to be needing some cabbages.
And my cabbages? Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Revelation. The Cabbage Man actually existed in a 1980s movie.
Really?
Police Academy.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay,
No.
Hold on to that theory. Hold on to that theory. So tonight, we're talking about Avatar. So Avatar, if you don't know, there was this planet called Pandora, and it has this material called unobtainium. And we were trying to get unobtainium, but there was this race called the Na'vi who lived on that planet who didn't want us to take the unobtainium. And there's a whole movie by James Cameron all about it, and that's what we're talking about tonight.
Yep.
And if you've ever seen Fern Gully, you don't ever need to watch that movie, by the way.
Agree.
That's true.
All right, so obviously, we're actually talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender, the animated series.
Primarily. With occasional segues of bitching about the...
Right. And then,
Which, by the way, Tiffany and I watched the live-action movie again in preparation for this podcast, and I regret everything.
See, I thought about doing that and then decided I love myself. So...
I've never seen martial arts so fucking slow in anything before.
Okay. Before we get into bitching about this movie,
sorry.
I'm sorry, I interrupted your theory. So, Cabbage Man in Police Academy.
Okay, so the character was kind of racist because it was the 1980s and Police Academy.
Sure.
But I think it was either the first one or the second one. I'm pretty sure it was the first one, though. Where Michael Winslow, if you guys don't know who Michael Winslow is, he's the sound effect guy from Police Academy, was in a karate fight in a back alley. And they were fighting around. I don't know why this guy was... Oh, because he was unloading. He was unloading his wares. But it was like broccoli. Oh my God, was it cabbages? But he was bringing out like produce, and like they fell all over it. And he was like, "Oh no, not my broccoli!" Except in a really kind of racist accent. But yeah, it's like the almost the same character except not as damaging as the Avatar people.
Yeah, the cabbage guy actually wasn't supposed to be a reoccurring character.
Oh, was he not?
No, it's just after the first time they used him, the creators just thought it was so funny and it was so liked by the fans that they were just like, "All right, let's throw this guy back in." And each time they just thought it was funnier, so they were like, "All right, throw him back in."
And I've seen people cosplay as the Cabbage Guy too, and it's phenomenal.
It is. I've seen a lot of cosplays of the Cabbage Guy and of the Secret Tunnel dude.
Yeah.
Like those are the two I don't know. I don't want to say main characters, but like
support
the Secret
characters.
Tunnel guy's in one episode, so
yeah.
So you definitely can't call him a main character. And then, if we're talking about Cabbage Guy, I mean, he's reoccurring, but he's definitely
not a main.
Yeah, I don't know how many episodes, but it's definitely not a ton.
I could take a look at how many episodes.
They're the comic relief. We'll go with that.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of that's a thing. Comic relief, I feel like, is very important for Avatar.
Absolutely.
Like
Like comedy
it's
Oh my God,
necessary.
for Avatar. Yeah,
And
it's
the
one of
fact
reasons the movie failed.
right, the fact that the movie not only was just fucking garbage,
Yes. Awful.
but also was not funny at all. Like it wasn't even like ironically funny. It was somehow just sad.
Those white people were way too serious for their own good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tried to put jokes in it. Like there's a couple things that Sokka says in the movie.
like Ong.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what, his rationale, I could almost see his rationale in that, but I don't know anything about naming conventions about whatever Asian country he was trying to cite. But he was trying to say that he named him Ong because that is how it would be pronounced in whatever Asian country he was referring to.
Okay.
And
so
it was like, but this is a fantasy.
I can't speak for Aang or Ong, and like I hate what I'm about to say because I don't want to defend the live action movie at all.
Don't make
But
me.
Sokka's name is based off a word in Japanese, and that word is Sokka, which is how
Okay.
they pronounce it in the movie.
Mhm.
And like Sokka in Japanese is basically like, really? Or is that so? Or, oh yeah? Like that's what Sokka means. Like, maybe you hear like a fact or something, you go Sokka. You know what I mean? Which is kind of relevant to Sokka's character. That's why they named him that. But the whole point of it was to change it a bit so it wasn't that word. So it was more of a name of the water tribe. There's even a point in the series where he goes to train under a sword master in the Fire Nation and not even thinking about it, introduces himself as Sokka. And the sword master from the Fire Nation immediately recognizes that he's from the water tribe because of the name. So he shouldn't have changed it, but that's why he did.
By the way, probably the best filler episode I've ever seen in any show.
Yeah, I mean,
Because, that's what it was. It was a filler episode. It was kind of related to the main plot, but it was still outside of the main plot.
I think it's I think it depends on how you define filler, because I feel like that particular episode was very important for Sokka's arc.
Yes, no, it's definitely... Well, a lot of filler episodes are still relevant and vital to side characters and stuff, but...
Well, one thing I can say is Avatar does filler episodes well.
Yeah.
There are a lot of shows that don't, and Avatar does not waste their filler episodes.
Absolutely not.
I feel like I didn't genuinely recognize most of the filler episodes as filler episodes until I really started thinking about them, because I was still having a good enough time watching them
Mhm.
that,
Yeah.
and it
They were
felt like
still
there was
enjoyable.
still some character growth going on,
Mhm.
even if there wasn't actually like main plot happening.
Exactly.
And it was still enjoyable to the point where it's like, yes, I want to see that little side thing. Like, yeah, totally give me more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of people, when I say filler episode, people automatically think I'm being disparaging to that show, like with that term. But filler episode isn't a bad term to me. It's just exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's just the stuff in between the main plot stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And
Naruto.
especially when you're invested in the characters, like you want to see that type of stuff.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. But like I was just kind of jokingly saying, then you have anime, which are based off of currently running manga, and they have to throw in filler episodes because they have to let the book get further ahead. So they put out some shit. I mean, it's
Which we have.
it's horribly
We have it
animated.
screening.
It's like, Jesus, I could have just ate ramen myself. I don't need an episode of him eating ramen. I'm fine.
This is why later we have re-released Kai versions of the series where most of the
Yeah.
filler is cut out.
Oh yeah, like Full Metal Alchemist. But I guess I'm digressing. But I guess that's a good point though for the Avatar, and I think that's why it moved along so well, because it wasn't a cartoon based off of anything.
Mm-hmm.
It
Right.
was a a living thing. I don't even know how to. I mean, it's just a cartoon. That's what
I
it
feel
was.
like that's a good description for it, though. Like that it was a living thing because
Mhm.
there wasn't really any expectation to hold it to. You didn't have the people that had read the manga that were like, why is this happening?
The book was
Or-
better.
But
You did, however, later have the books, which
Yeah.
expanded upon the universe, which is good. But they really took their time and made sure they did what they wanted with Avatar. An episode of Avatar, from the time when they started, concept sketches and writing the episode until the point where it was ready to air, on average for an episode was 9 months.
oh wow.
So, yeah, and then it was even longer for season 3 because, unfortunately, one of the voice actors passed away.
Right.
And
what an
they
amazing
had to-
guy he is too.
yeah, and they had to recast him. And so for the first half of season 3, which got delayed in the first place, the first half of season 3, his character, Uncle Iroh, only showed up in 2 episodes and was silent for those 2 episodes until his understudy could step up and take over the role.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what they're
Yeah.
called when you're doing voice acting? Is it still an understudy?
I used the term because it was the only thing I could think of, but I have no idea if that's the correct term.
It sounds better than replacement.
That's valid.
true.
Yeah. I'm cool with understudy. I was just curious.
But that's a good point. I don't know much about voice acting. I'd imagine they'd have to have someone waiting in the wings
Yeah.
to, you know what I mean? Because I think even most voice actors have people who can imitate their voice, especially Mako, who has been in the entertainment industry for
So
years.
long. Yeah.
Years. Like the first thing I ever remember him in was the Conan movie, which he was great in, by the way. It was a very, very D&D centric Conan movie, and Mako was great.
I'm sure for someone who's been in the game that long, there are whatever casting agency or whatever they go through to find voice actors, I'm sure there are people on their resumes that put "I can sound like Mako" or like have like. I mean, it's got to be true. There are also a ton of people who are like, "I can sound like Mark Hamill," or "I can sound like Chuck Jones," or whoever. You know what I mean? Like,
ooh, that's, or like, yeah, I'd like to see the person say, "I sound like Mel Blanc." No, you don't.
you think you do, but
What are you, 20? Get out of here.
funny thing, you don't.
You don't.
That's horrible.
But just to get the conversation back to Avatar,
Yeah,
let's
sorry.
start with one of our questions. I don't we say start, but like we're already, however long in. We always start with like a what's your favorite. So let's go with who's your favorite character in Avatar, and this can be, let's really make it hard and say in both the original series or its sequel. So this can be from the original series or from Korra.
Oh, shit. Really? Oh, damn.
So I'm torn. I'm very torn. Because
Well, anytime we do this, we end up naming our top 3 anyway. So please
That's
it's
true.
true.
tell us
It's
about how
true.
you're torn.
Yeah. Well, because okay, so keeping in mind that it's been a minute since I've gone back and I've watched like specific episodes of The Last Airbender, but the stuff that I've most recently watched is I rewatched Legend of Korra. So that's kind of fresher in my mind right now, to be very honest. But I mean, Zuko's a hard favorite for me just because I'm forever astonished at how wonderful his character arc was. Like, it was just beautifully done.
Amazing redemption arc.
I think it's the only. I hate redemption arcs. I'm going to be very honest. Like 98% of the time, I hate redemption arcs.
That's fair.
Like, I get so angry. I'm just like, why can't we let bad guys be bad guys? Because it's never convincing for me for some reason, except for Zuko.
I think
Zuko,
the big difference was Zuko was never actually a bad guy.
Yeah,
Well,
and I think that's a crucial thing too.
Well, here's the thing, too, with that thought in mind. A lot of people are noticing, and probably from things like Avatar, that the antagonist, not necessarily a villain, the
Right.
antagonist is more interesting and more well received when they are conflicted and they have some kind of driving force behind them besides "I'm evil."
Right. Yeah.
You can
Well,
see
there.
that.
I feel like it makes them scarier too as antagonists. Like, not only are they more interesting, but they're genuinely frightening.
Mhm.
Yeah, in Zuko's case, he would sacrifice anything and everything, including himself, in order to accomplish his goal. And
Which is it? Go ahead.
which is really interesting because when they were originally conceiving the series Avatar: The Last Airbender, Zuko was not a character. So they were actually going to have the only antagonist be Fire Lord Ozai.
Who is
Oh,
evil for the sake of evil, essentially.
right. Yeah.
Right. And then they realized they couldn't really do much with Ozai sitting on his throne. Like,
Right.
it'd be much harder to have him doing things that would affect the Avatar when he's just sitting there on his throne. And then they came up with the character of Prince Zuko, which, to come up with that character at last minute and still have such an amazing story for him is really impressive.
And I will say that it's like his goal. Like, he will do anything, he'll sacrifice everything to achieve his goal, and it's not just to capture the Avatar. It is not even his honor that he is hoping to get back. It's
Right.
the love of his father,
Yeah.
the respect of his father, and that really is like that hits home so hard for a lot of people. And there's
Mhm.
you know what I mean? And it's like, yes, I can see him as the antagonist, but I know that he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But even
It's-
even when they introduce his sister, Azula,
Mhm.
like, you see her come in and it's like, man, she is fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
But even then, it's like you realize that there is something there. She's not
Mhm.
evil for the sake of evil. She has been snapped somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And she has not been able to adjust, and this is where her actions are coming from. It's not evil, it's actions.
We get two very, very nice sides of Ozai's A+ parenting.
Well, and yeah, Ozai's A+ parenting mixed with the absence of their mother, which is also as a result to Ozai's A+ parenting.
Oh, their mom's total that arc with their mom was, I sobbed. I'm willing to admit that I sobbed.
And then
Like,
we get
that
to
was
see
just
and then we get to see what happens with one of Ozai's kids when his brother gets to take over for a while.
Yep. So
Yeah.
you just saying Zuko and you're stopping at Zuko?
Oh no, but like, I wanted to start with Zuko because, like,
Oh,
Zuko's the
right,
one
right.
that, like, is stuck in my head, like, perpetually.
Mhm.
And as usual, we kind of went off on a few tangents.
Hey,
Tangents,
you know what?
yeah.
It wouldn't be a podcast if we just stuck on task.
You're right.
It definitely wouldn't be Casters Guild if we stayed on task.
Oh. You know what? Name 12 podcasts that stay on task. Do it. I dare you.
I can't
Okay.
name 12 podcasts.
Well,
So,
that sounds like a you problem.
But most of them are, like, drama style podcasts, so I don't think that counts.
Scripts don't count. Yes.
So, anywho, Zuko and
Okay, Lynn from Legend of Korra.
oh, okay.
I don't know
help me out.
why.
The name's not striking.
One of Toph's daughters.
Oh. See, I just started watching it again, and I haven't gotten back to that part. So all that's fresh in my head are the first season kind of stuff, like early first season stuff.
Yeah, it's her cop daughter.
Oh, well then, yeah, she was there. Her name's Lynn. Oh, it is. Sorry, go ahead.
Like, I distinctly remember when I first, like, when we were first introduced to her, I was like, oh, I don't like this person. But then as we, like, progressed through and got more of her backstory, I was like, oh, you're just sad and you need a hug, don't you?
When I first got introduced to that character, I was kind of like, oh yeah, this person's too rough for me. And then, just seconds later, oh yeah, she's Toph's daughter. That explains everything.
Like, this makes sense.
But then it didn't explain everything because a lot of her bitterness came from, Horn Dog Aang's son.
Yeah.
What the fuck is his name? Man, I really gotta watch that whole thing again.
Yeah.
What's Aang's son's name?
Tenzin?
Ah, yes, voiced by J.K. Simmons, which
Yeah.
I was amazed by that.
I just remember when I was first watching Legend of Korra, I was like, why does he have so many children? It was like he decided he was going to repopulate the Air Nation with just him.
It's gotta happen somehow.
What was messed up is that he was with Lynn, and then this other lady comes around and steals him from her. So it was like, you are clearly being led around by your dick, sir. And that lady is a dick bender, and she got you.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh,
no.
Oh yeah, I'm running with it.
Dick bending.
No, I remember I'd seen a meme and I was just so fucking horrified. Because it was about the whole metal benders and the fact that there's iron in blood, and I was like,
oh. But I will say this: if Magneto can do it, so can metal benders.
Yeah.
And by that I mean manipulate the iron and blood. I'm not going further
Well,
than that.
now hold on, because metal benders can't actually bend metal.
They can move it.
They bend the impurities of Earth within the metal.
Okay, that's valid.
So I don't think if you look at the shreds of iron that are in the blood.
Did they go into Korra?
I don't know about in Korra, but in the original series, that's how Toph invented metal bending.
She said that?
Because it was all about meteor,
and
right?
you saw it. Like, okay, so Toph was locked in a metal cage. Okay, I don't know if you remember the scene.
I do.
But
I also remember the horrible thing that happened to those two men afterwards. They are dead, and they died in there. You cannot take that away from me.
So Toph sees with her feet and her hands.
Correct.
Right.
Because she senses tremors and the earth around her.
Okay. So you're saying Toph has tremor sense? Yes,
actually. So Toph put her hands on and her feet on the metal and felt the earth within the metal, and it was an impure metal.
Okay, but I mean, I saw those ripples; they went all the way through it.
Right. I mean, you can look it up, but I guarantee you that's how metal bending was invented. It's the impurities of the earth within the metal, which is why metals like steel cannot be bent.
Did they say that?
Yes.
They said that they cannot bend steel.
Yes.
Really?
Okay. Because there aren't as many impurities in it.
Man, okay. I mean, I'm gonna have to believe you because I mean, I don't know, but
in Korra, they talk about the fact that the easiest thing to metal bend, or the easiest thing at least to learn on, is the meteor bits because of the high concentration of earth
impurities.
Earth inside of it, yeah.
Yeah, Earth. Big air quotes there. And then I saw so they were talking about that, and then somebody was like, "Yeah, but bloodbending's already a thing," which led to a joke that I didn't want to be made.
Well, you know what? Go ahead and make it.
Regarding Katara and Aang.
Oh. Are they at least adults at the time?
Yes, I was pretty sure that they were adults at the time that they were making that reference, but maybe I just assumed. You can't tell with fandom sometimes.
I know, right? Now, Aang only had one kid, right? It was just Tenzin?
No. Doesn't Tenzin have a brother?
Oh, that's right, he does. He does have a brother who's
a sister too? I thought that there was a
right.
sister.
It's all coming back. But
yeah, because there was Umi, because he's the dumb brother that became an airbender after.
I love him.
He's great. And I'm pretty sure that they had a sister, didn't they? Am I crazy?
It sounds right.
It does sound right. I swear, wait, didn't one of them die?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe that's the sister. I don't know. I haven't watched. I need to watch Korra again. It's been a long time since I've watched Korra.
Oh, yep. I think the sister died, and that's why they don't talk to each other.
And I definitely need to watch Korra again, because while we're on the topic of favorites, it's definitely got my favorite animal of the Avatar series, and there are a lot of really cool ones in there.
That's a whole conversation in itself. Fucking animals in there.
All right, so before we touch that, let's get back to, because we've only gone through one person.
Well, yeah. Okay.
So we're on the question: who is your favorite character from the Avatar series, and it can be from the original series or the sequel, The Legend of Korra. So we've got Ray's answer. Tiffany?
You need time to think about it. Are you ready to go?
Appa.
Cheater.
Yip, motherfucker.
Yeah. It's Appa. Of course it's
Oh
gonna be
God,
animated.
that whole
You're
Appa
right,
got
you're right.
kidnapped arc.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Anytime
All the
the
feels.
bison kidnapped, it's painful.
I thought for sure that he was just going to split the world in half. I mean,
He should have.
there he is.
Found him.
Found him.
So do you want to expand on that at all?
I love the bond. I love the bond that Appa and Ong. And what are we doing here?
Please stop.
Aang. It is Aang.
Yeah. Are we sure? What version are we in here? All right, cool.
I'm leaving.
Bye. I love their bond. I think it's super sweet, and it's a big part in Aang's role as well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's nothing left of Aang's whole world. I mean, like when I say that, you realize Aang was born among the monks of the air nomads.
See, they're air nomads.
He was.
Did they ever move?
Yes, between the
Okay.
air temples.
Oh, okay.
So like they would like rotate between the air temples.
Gotcha.
So
They have a air
Aang is born amongst the monks. He ages to age 12. He knows nothing except the air temple. He is told he's the Avatar. He runs, is frozen, and then 100 years later, so like he still knows nothing of the world outside of the air temple. And then he finds out it's all gone, all of it.
Yep.
And the only thing he has left of it is Appa,
Momo.
you know, his staff, and then when he finds Momo. So of course Appa is that important to him. It's his only connection left, or the only big connection left to the world he knew, which is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So is it just Appa for you? Because I know Ray was torn between two characters. So
I mean, I also love Aang. Like, he's so lovable. Like, he starts one way, and by the end of the series, he is a completely different person.
The character arcs that they did were just beautiful.
you also have to admire Aang being who he is and still choosing to remain a pacifist.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it kind of feels like you grow with these characters too. Like you see their transformation, you're just like with them. So I really like Aang too. He was a really good main character.
So actually, that's a good point. So Avatar: The Last Airbender debuted in 2005. So how old was everyone here in 2005?
Do you really want to ask this question?
I do.
I
I
don't
was
want to.
17. 17.
I was
I
18.
was 9.
I'm gonna head out.
And Baron?
Why? Why did you come back? My daughter wasn't even born.
There we
Hey,
go.
mine
Okay.
either.
That works.
Let's see.
So-
You said 2005, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I was 20 in 1999. So I was 26.
So Ray,
We had just met around that time, actually.
yes. It
Close
was
to that
like a
time.
year or two after that, yeah.
Yeah.
Ray, you actually did get to grow up with these characters.
No, I did not, actually.
Because you didn't see it until later?
Yeah, I didn't see it until later. I think I caught a couple of episodes of it when it was essentially in syndication. And I think I was like 11 or 12 when I caught a couple episodes of it. But I had a couple friends that were really into it, but didn't really get it. And I didn't watch it until like in its entirety until I was 18, I think, maybe 19. I was living up north by then.
Okay, well then I'll argue, okay, so you saw it around the same age that Tiffany and I saw it.
Yeah.
Because we saw it when we were about 18. And I would argue that like when I was 18, I was still growing up. I mean, like I was coming into who I was as a person. I mean, I probably haven't fully realized who I was until about 3 years ago. So, I mean, in a way, I definitely grew up with these characters. It definitely had a great big impact, I think, on who I am as a person. Not to say, I'm not saying it has to be the same for you. Not everybody is impacted that
See,
hard by a cartoon show.
Well,
But,
and
you know.
it's not that. I will say that I felt like it was definitely different than anything else that I'd seen. It kind of rekindled an interest in anime as a thing, because it was always like all my friends that really liked Avatar were the same ones that really liked like Naruto and DBZ and stuff like that, which is part of why I wasn't watching it when they were, I think, is because I knew that I had no interest in those things. So the fact that they were all lumped together in their interest group, I just assumed that it wasn't going to be my vibe.
Sure.
And then I just kind of randomly decided, oh, well, this is here, so I'm going to watch it, and was happily surprised. But I don't think that it necessarily impacted me as like in a formative manner necessarily, except maybe as a creator.
Oh, okay.
Just because it did make me, it did give me that thing of, oh, this is what a redemption arc should be like.
Okay. I'd still say, I would argue if it's as a creator, that's still pretty formative.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I just,
It helped.
It helped. It helped. But like that's the biggest thing is I don't even know. It was definitely different than anything I had ever seen. And that affected me, but I would not say that I can definitively say this is the thing that makes me this way.
Sure. I can say definitively that Avatar: The Last Airbender is what helped me realize that family doesn't have to be blood. And
found family, yeah, that would be a great found family.
Yeah.
And the whole thing of, I think it was about the time I was finishing Avatar when I realized I could create my own family of people who are willing to care for me outside of my family. And so that's why I'd say it's very formative for me, because that's a big part of who I am now. And that's definitely where that started.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it was hitting me at just the right time, because like Baron just said, it was around the time that we met for the first time. I mean, like Avatar had been out for a year at that point, so it wasn't even done running. Like it was still running at that point in time. So not only did I have that, but I was literally in the middle of being adopted by a found family between Brad and a couple other people. I won't name names because I'm not sure if they want their names mentioned. But if they hear this, they know who I'm talking about. Right, so, and I'm sure they appreciate it. So yeah, I would say that's very important.
Yeah, and I imagine that sort of thing would be very important. That's a really great thing to take from that show and that fandom. I feel like I'm in a fair many fandoms. Like I dabble in fandoms, and like a lot of them get kind of gatekeepy. I don't think that I've ever actually met anyone that's genuinely gatekeepy about Avatar. Like, people sometimes make jokes, but it's mostly so that the punchline can be an Uncle Iroh quote. Like,
I mean, yeah. So yeah, I think that's all part of that. I think a whole thing about Avatar is that Avatar in general as a series is against gatekeeping. It's about, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what nation you're from, as long as you're about coming together, then let's do it, you know?
So ironic that a fandom, or not, I shouldn't say a fandom, it is so ironic that a thing like that is, you know, against gatekeeping and inclusion and finding, you know, love in differences, has created such a gatekeepy community in the Avatar fandom. It's horrifying. I hate the Avatar fandom.
Oh, see, like, I haven't ever come into contact with any of that. Maybe I'm just, like, really lucky, I guess.
Well,
I would say it used to be a whole lot more gatekeepy than it is now. I think when Avatar
me-
was first. Go ahead.
Let me add you to some Facebook groups.
Oh no. Okay, you've had
Okay.
a couple. All
So
right.
here's my theory is Avatar was added to Netflix. You had a whole bunch of people who just started watching Avatar on Netflix, and then the general Avatar community went, "Y'all aren't real fans. You weren't there from the beginning. Like you're just jumping on the bandwagon." That whole thing. But then I think a bunch of the real hardcore Avatar fans went, "Look, that's not the attitude you should have. Like, is that
That's
how
not
Uncle
Avatar.
Iroh? Is that how Uncle Iroh would want you to act?" And I think a bunch of them backed off. Like a bunch of them went, "Okay, no, you're right." So of course there will always be there. You can't have a fandom without gatekeepers. Like they're gonna exist.
Right.
But I wouldn't call the fandom gatekeeping as a whole. I think it's more of a minority. But it all comes down to who you interact with and what your experiences are.
Yeah.
Well, and again, some of it may be because I actually started. That would have been 2014 or 15 was when I was watching it. So it had essentially 10 years to kind of marinate to itself.
But you weren't at the time. You weren't jumping on the time where you had the opportunity to be called a bandwagon fan.
Right.
Like
yeah,
you were jumping on all on your own. You weren't jumping on with a whole bunch of more people because they had just put it on Netflix. You were jumping on your own. So you probably wouldn't have reached that same wall that a lot of fans reached because of the whole Netflix era of Avatar, which I want to talk about. So let's go ahead and get through this question. So, Baron.
Oh, we're still on this question. Oh, yeah.
Favorite Avatar character or characters.
All right, you ready to hit me with this? You ready? You ready for me to hit you with this? I think is what I tried to say.
No, it's not.
Are you ready for some football? I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay, I have 3 because you gave me that leeway. I have 1 purely Avatar, Last Airbender. I have 1 purely Legend of Korra, and then I have 1 Bridging the Gap.
Okay.
You ready? Avatar: The Last Airbender, Sokka. He may be my all-time favorite, just all-time favorite. You 3 know me. Yeah. I don't really have to explain myself.
No, you don't.
You so personally identify with Sokka, it's not even surprising.
All right. Now we're going to go purely Korra, Lin, who I believe is actually kind of that series of Sokka, except he can bend. All right. Bridging the Gap. Do we know where I'm going? One of the characters that was in both series is Uncle Iroh. Duh. It's Uncle Iroh.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
With Toph Beifong as a close second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yep. Those are my 3 favorites. And I do have to say, I think honestly, out of both series, all of them put together, I think that Uncle Iroh is definitely my all-time favorite. Sokka is kind of how I feel now. It's how I'm kind of relating to him, but Iroh is who I want to be.
Right. Yeah. You're on brand. Good job.
Huh?
You're on brand. You're like, you want to be the supportive dad, but you also want to marry the moon. I get you.
Right.
While drinking tea.
While drinking tea.
Yep. Spot on.
All right. Now that I'm going
what about
last,
you, Rick?
and all the great characters have been taken.
Of course they have.
So
we never made a
what's that?
I said we never made a rule that we couldn't repeat because we may love characters for different reasons.
Oh, it's gonna happen. All right. So first out, shout out to my main man Pabu, because you know me, it's got to be Pabu, fire ferret for life.
I'm not even kidding, Rick. Right before you went and you were like talking about how all the great characters are going to be taken, in my head was like, why doesn't he just pick that fire ferret? You know that seems to be something that he would go for. It's really, and like you said that, and I'm like, holy shit, there it is. It's like you ripped it out of my head.
And then Jet, actually, while I think Jet is another good, I think, redemption arc. Not as good as Zuko's, I think a lot of people forget about Jet, and why everybody forget about Jet. I think Jet and his crew, and like if I'm talking about found families and like that, I mean Jet and his crew, you know, Smellerbee and all them, that is what they are, you know. And I'm a sucker for a freedom fighter. And then Uncle Iroh. You can't beat Uncle Iroh. I mean, like the whole White Lotus thing, always got some tea ready, always ready to drop some wisdom. I mean, he's amazing.
So full of secrets too. It's like he.
Oh yeah.
It's never like in my what's the male version of Mary Sue? They called it something. It was really fucking funny, but kind of like the, you know, Luke Skywalker is just stupid good at this shit, and there's no explanation for it.
Mm-hmm.
With Uncle Iroh, it's like he does this shit just kind of out of nowhere, but then you're like, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can shoot lightning out of his fingers. No. It doesn't surprise me.
Like anyone who's in doubt of Uncle Iroh just needs to watch the Uncle Iroh in prison thing.
Oh
like,
yeah.
My gosh.
Not only physically amazing, but mentally cunning, planning. It gives you the whole package because he plans from the moment he gets in there exactly how he's going to act in front of who, how he's going to be able to get to where he needs to be to break out, and then he executes on that plan. And if you had any doubt of Uncle Iroh being the great general and the badass that everyone talks about him being, just watch that.
What is he,
part.
the Dragon of the West?
Yeah. The only thing he was unable to conquer was Ba Sing Se.
And that's even because, I bet, didn't his son died and then he was just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, well, that nobody was able to conquer Ba Sing Se. I mean, like the war that the Fire Nation waged on the world had been going on for 100 years, and they still couldn't take down Ba Sing Se.
He could have if they hadn't taken away his little boy.
Yes. If anybody could have, it would have been Iroh.
They crippled him. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I also have a sneaking suspicion that since Ba Sing Se was one of the main operating places of the White Lotus, that maybe Iroh didn't want to invade on the White Lotus.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So now that we got that question out of the way and we're an hour into the podcast.
Jesus.
Let's bitch about the movie for a minute.
That son of a bitch.
Okay, so number one, why can't he pronounce anyone's name right? Number two, why is there no comedy? Number three, why did it take 5 badass earthbenders to make one tiny little boulder slowly float across? Like,
why
what
did somebody get hit by fire catch on fire?
Mm-hmm. Why did the firebenders need fire pots? Why did they choose to make the fact that Sozin's comet was coming was the thing that, like, oh, now we can bend without using fire pots? You could always bend without using fire pots, you sons of bitches. Why did the Earth Kingdom just kind of like bend over and take it? They were being kept prisoner in a fucking canyon surrounded by rocks and earth. And then Aang just came up and was like, why don't y'all fight? And they were like, you know what? You right. And then they fought. What the fuck? In the series, they were keeping them on a metal boat. Like there was no earth anywhere. And that's why they couldn't fight. They were in a canyon. I'm sorry. I'm spiking my audio.
I was just like, we're just gonna let Rick run this time. Like none of the rest of us need to even participate.
Obviously, that one particular scene is a bit of a sore spot for me.
Notice none of us jumped in.
Yeah, so you're just like, yep.
Also, why?
Just why?
Just why? Why?
Good talk.
Right.
Why is all of it fucking...
Anyways, my next favorite character is...
So, now that I bitched about that a little bit, do we think the Netflix live-action series can redeem it?
Okay.
Well...
So, I was hopeful initially, and then
the Fire Nation attacked.
And then the creators dropped out of it, and I was like, oh no.
Well, there's
Uh-oh.
rumor, and of course it's only rumor, but
That
there's
they paid
rumor.
them enough money to be reinvolved again?
There is rumor that one of the reasons the live action series has been delayed so much, and we still don't have any kind of release dates or no pre-production or no casting announcements or anything like that, because they are still in talks with the creators trying to get them to come back. So at least they are trying.
Okay.
If these rumors are true, at least they're trying to because I thought about it, and I didn't put any Google research into it or anything like that, but just off the top of my head, I can't think of a bad series made for Netflix. I can think of a couple times when Netflix took another series and tried to make another season and went, oh God, that was a terrible season, Arrested Development. But the series made by Netflix for Netflix have all been really good. I mean, Black Mirror, The Witcher, Castlevania, all really good stuff. Stranger Things. So I can't imagine them just churning out some crap like M. Night did and slapping it up there.
Regardless, I think it's going to be better. It's at very least going to be more watchable than The Last Airbender.
Sure.
The problem is...
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. A problem was, and again, this is rumor because it wasn't in the official release from the creators, is that Netflix was trying to whitewash the shit out of this one again.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I get it. First off, what a lovely way to showcase a bunch of Asian actors that would normally never get the chance to do so or be relegated to the background of a, action movie as that Asian guy. You know which one I'm talking about, the bald one with the Fu Manchu. You laugh because you know exactly who I'm talking about. I wish I knew his name. And then this is all based on, and I know we were just talking about the names and about how we shouldn't put so much emphasis on the names because it's just a fantasy world. But this is all based off of Asian culture.
Mm-hmm.
We can find enough Asian actors, enough Asian extras to fill in a world that's based on Asian cultures.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure we even have some Inuit actors out there who would be more than happy to fill in the ranks of the water tribes.
Absolutely.
And I want to see that. I want to see a culturally diverse Avatar.
To be fair, there have been later press releases where people who are still involved with the casting of the live action series have promised they won't be making that mistake again, where it will not be whitewashed. They will be casting racially appropriate, I guess would be the right words to use.
At the very least, the main actors should not be white.
Right.
All right, don't do this. Cast everybody else Asian except for the main characters who are white. It's that point completely.
Yeah, that'd be even worse.
Yeah. I think, okay. Do you guys remember the talks about how when The Last Airbender started getting people talking about how whitewashy it was, and M. Night Shyamalan was like, no, we actually have a very diverse cast. And it was what is your diverse cast? Is it all of your bad guys being played by Iranian people? Because...
Because that's it.
I think they were actually Indians.
Some of them were.
Like Zuko was. Wasn't he the one from Slumdog Millionaire?
Was he?
Don't know.
No, you know what? Well, no, was he?
I don't think so.
Oh man.
Let's be real.
Computer that I could look
at that point in time. At that point in time, the person who was voice acting Zuko probably would have been one of the best choices to play live action Zuko.
But you know what? Look, I'm putting this out there right now. He needs to be in more stuff. Period. He needs to be acting. He needs to be voice acting. He needs to do because he is amazing.
I mean, he's still doing a lot of voice acting.
Yeah, but
you might not recognize it as much, but he had a very long run on American Dragon Jake Long.
Yes, but they need to bring him back as fucking Rufio in something because he looks the exact same way.
Yeah. I don't think at this point, now that it's 2020, I don't think at this point they could bring him and play Zuko.
That's Rufio.
Yeah, Rufio, fine. I don't think he could play Zuko at this point. I think back in 2010.
Look, you know what?
I
He
think
could be
he
the
could
shark
have
for
played
Jaws, and
Zuko.
I'd be happy.
Yes, he was the Slumdog Millionaire.
Was he? Oh, fuck. I was like looking it up, and I got fucking distracted by Dante Brasco.
I didn't get distracted.
I'd watch a movie all about Rufio. I would. I'd watch it.
I would too.
Origin story.
It's a 3-minute short of him being kidnapped as a child. What more origin do you want?
He breaks the fourth
reason,
wall
I
in the end.
think, like, I
He's
heard
like,
rumors of such a movie, and I could be making that up, but no,
we make up
that was it.
That
was it. No, that was. He made a YouTube. He made a small YouTube series, and you can look it up. That was Rufio. Look it up. Brasco made a YouTube miniseries.
Do you want a cookie?
I got
yes.
Maybe a drink
yes,
of water.
I do. I want a cookie because I remembered that. Yes, I want a cookie.
Get the man on the
okay. Go watch it.
I got some Halloween Oreos.
We've gotten to see lots of very up here emotion from Rick today.
Look, I love Avatar and anything tangentially related. Shut up. The whole point of cast is
another one.
Wait a minute. You love Avatar and anything related to it? That means you love the movie. You heard it here, folks. Rick loves the Avatar movie.
Rick thinks M. Night Shyamalan did a great job.
Fuck you.
Is this a guild decree?
You better not, you son of a bitch.
Hey, you leave my mom out of this.
I don't know. Is she Avatar related?
Is she Avatar related?
She's about as tall as Aang was in the first series.
Yeah. We can do 5 degrees of Avatar here.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable. I need an adult.
Well, keep looking. You're not going to find him here, brother.
Yeah, I was like, does anybody know one of those?
No.
No.
Hold on, let me check. Lilith, am I an adult? No, she says no. Wow.
Well, smart kid.
That's actually. Hold on. What? Oh shit! Damn.
What did she say?
She said not mentally, at least.
Oh.
Ooh.
Harsh.
I mean, when you're right, you're right. But
yeah, I mean, notice I'm not arguing with her right now. It still kind of hurts.
Like you right, but ouch.
I say you're right. You're grounded, but you're right.
How did we get here?
I got
what wrong
excited. Is
turn
how we got
did
here.
Where were we?
I don't fucking know.
I was bitching about the movie, and then we were talking about whether or not the live action series could bring it back.
Redeem it.
Oh yeah. Are we? Can we say anything more about the series coming up? I will say that while I am concerned, I am cautious. I am also still going to watch it.
Yes. Yeah.
Agreed.
I think the best way to describe my attitude would be hopeful yet skeptical.
Yeah, I will give it a full season.
I can't promise that.
I gave Discovery a full season. I'm going to give this a full season.
It's like we've been hurt, but we're willing to try again.
We're ready to try again.
We're ready to try
when
again.
Did that one come out? Like
the
when
movie?
did that? Yeah, when did that horror show come out?
2010.
Ooh.
It's been 10 years.
Right.
So maybe we're ready to try to move on.
Look, people can change.
We just need to find the right one. We just got to find the right avatar.
I think maybe we should have gone back to our first ex.
They have been calling. In that the cartoon is on Netflix.
Yeah.
They left us though.
It did.
That we pulled around with its sibling. Legend Force. You're not getting another.
Yes. I got the analogy. I didn't like it.
You did too. Don't judge
I
me.
did-
You were
I-
there too. I saw you.
I don't like this place.
Look,
This place that we're in right now, let's leave.
Like I said, I got the analogy. I didn't like the analogy. Come on now.
I'm gonna make a guild decree, and it's that we can never say anything like that ever again.
That's too
Okay.
much power. That's too
Ray
much power.
can, Ray can never be on the podcast again. I'm sorry. Because stuff like that is gonna get said, and if
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Well, that's another one of those things. Is we're gonna say something, and he's gonna be like, "Hey, that's related to my."
sorry,
guild decree."
dude, you're.
You know what? You guys,
that's-
you guys guild decreed for me to be here tonight. So.
Well, that's again a you problem.
And look, you are. So
You wanted it just as much as we
Wasn't
did.
that a non-guild master talking?
speaking of which,
man.
are there any guild decrees that anybody wants to throw out right now? Anything
I don't know.
Avatar related that you're just like
I'm about to erase the existence of the live action movie.
I was about to say the
wouldn't
live
hate
action
you for it.
is not. I was gonna say it's not canon. Like it's
Okay,
not.
no.
Yeah.
well, it's already not canon.
Good.
Okay.
Let's leave it that way.
How about this? The movie is canon, but and I saw this online. The
I
movie
know where
was
you're
in
going.
fact a live action adaptation of the play that the Fire Nation players put on about the Avatar.
Okay, I can see that.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
there are parts of that theory I like, and
Uh-huh.
there are parts of me that go that play was better than the movie.
But
I feel like
Tis
they would
my
at least
guild
get some people actually caught fire.
that is my guild decree. That
Okay.
the movie is canon, but it is a live action adaptation of the play that the Fire Nation players put on for the Avatar crew.
Okay.
Maybe
Okay.
not for them, but they were there. Yep.
All right.
We're there.
Yep.
Guild decree.
Guild decree.
I don't know that I have a guild decree for this one, actually.
I mean, we're not done yet. It could happen.
Sure.
Yeah,
Guild decree
but, like,
Fire
I'm-
Ferret is the best. Guild decree Fire Ferret is the best animal combination to come out of Avatar. Guild decree.
Oh my God,
Okay.
we haven't even talked about the animals. Let's talk about the animals for a little while.
Animals.
All right, let's do it. Super cool, in my opinion, and like I honestly still want to do this in a D&D campaign eventually. They have no animals that you would find in our current world. Like everything is. Oh,
Wrong.
there's the bear. So okay,
Oh,
but
God, the
almost
bear.
everything, and it's super rare. That's one of the reasons it's super rare because
Oh,
it's
it's
just a
obviously
bear.
a mutant freak. It's obviously
Yeah. But everything is two animals jammed into one,
Wait a minute.
which is
hold on.
amazing.
I just thought of something. It could be a mutant freak, but hold on. What if the Avatar world actually had access to another world, like our world, and that's how they got the bear? Because notice he had the bear like it was a friggin'. So what if that's what happened? Like somehow they got this bear from like our world or like a world like it that just has normal animals. And that's why he had this and was just kind of parading it around as this.
And why it's super
Curiosity.
rare.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, cause he, was he a king? Is that what he was?
Yeah, he's king. He was
So
he was the king of Ba Sing Se.
Mhm.
Right. So
The
he
Earth
had
King.
this, right. So he had this bear like it was a status symbol.
Yeah.
And you're not
Wasn't
gonna
that party
get.
for the bear?
I think.
Well,
you're right.
I almost think it status symbol isn't wrong, I think, but I think it kind of betrays the character of the Earth King because I feel like he had it just because he wanted it. He just thought it was super cool. Like it wasn't that he was trying to show
Right.
it off to other people. Like he just thought it was super cool.
Right, but
That
it's
it was
not,
a bear.
But it's not like it was a monstrosity. It wasn't a freak of nature.
Mm-mm.
He had it as a pet, as a loving. You're not going to get some
Mhm.
like king from ancient England that has a two-headed goat as a loving pet. You know what I mean?
Nope,
That's
just corgis.
Yeah.
not what's going to happen. They'll have a lion from another country brought in as, and maybe that's the thing too. Maybe regular bears or regular animals they have on other continents in that world.
Possibly, yeah.
Well, I know that there's like there's a pretty thorough list on the wiki of the different animals in the world. And I think that there are some animals that are just those animals that aren't like hybrids.
Okay. But either way, it's not a ton. And like that
Right,
convention they came up with for the series of just like, okay, rather than come up with just some random new animals, let's just take this animal and smash it together. And like that is our new animal
Thing.
hybrid.
Right.
I thought that was super clever and super cool.
Oh yeah. It also
It was
led to
different.
some really fucking cute things.
Yes,
Yeah,
it did.
Like, can we talk about the otter penguins? Because the
Oh.
otter penguins are
Oh
adorable.
my God, yeah.
Oh,
Like,
and I had some horrifying things too.
It's true.
Vulture wasps.
Yep.
Oh my God.
What about elbow leeches? I don't even know what those are supposed to be mixed with, but they're terrifying.
Yeah, no.
One of my favorites, and I saw them in Korra, the wolf bats,
Yes.
Mm.
and that team that was the wolf bats was hilarious. the White Falls wolf bats.
What were they? Were they eel? Were they eel dogs? Eel.
I don't know. Let me check.
I think Ray's already got the Wikipedia page up.
I'm trying to look.
Cheater.
It was an eel hound. It was an eel hound.
Oh yeah,
those were
yeah.
cool looking.
Well, you know what?
Oh, were those things that would saw by scent?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And then Korra's bear dog, which, you know, it wasn't just a dog. It had to have been like part polar bear because that thing was huge and awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But I will also say that I am a huge fan. Oh, wow. This is going to come out way wrong. Let me back this up. In D&D, I really love playing halflings that use dogs as mounts.
Okay.
Okay.
So for them to bring a dog that big to be able to be used as a mount was great. I mean, if you think about it, you have a canine that's that big. Oh my God. Ancient warfare would have been changed completely. I don't know why.
Oh my God.
Why the water tribes don't have those everywhere?
Bear dog cavalry.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The Fire Nation would have not gone anywhere, but apparently they didn't exist until 60 years after the events of Avatar: Last Airbender. So weird. 70 years.
However long it was.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I love the animals in there. The turtle ducks. Oh, the turtle ducks.
Oh,
I would love to have a rubber turtle duck.
they've got to have made like
They had to.
some sort of merch for that, right?
If not,
they
I'm
didn't,
sure
somebody's got it on Etsy.
Yeah, I'm about to say Etsy is somebody has had to have made stuff like that.
Turtle
Duck.
duck shopping.
Add to
Did you
cart.
find it?
Wild Republic did a rubber duck sea turtle. Oh, someone knitted them. Oh, look
Oh,
They're perfect.
at they're perfect. Oh my God. There's a turtle duck plush doll for $95, and let me tell you, the eyes and the beak are haunting.
are they?
Haunting.
Not in a great way either.
Let me see.
I mean, do you want to?
Yes, I
Yes.
want to be haunted.
Of course we want
Yes.
to
Can't,
see and
you
be
can't
haunted.
unsee this.
Yes.
All right, there you go.
Wow, that
Oh.
was horrifying.
That is haunting.
I love it.
Haunting was the correct word.
Yeah.
I love it and
Oh.
hate it in equal measure.
Is
Now-
it
now-
the back of bottle cap?
Oh, thank God. It says mutant doll statue. They knew what they were
Oh,
doing.
okay. Okay, good.
Now, to the creator, if you happen to watch our show and you
Listen
see...
to our show.
Well, no,
They won't.
we're not naming anything. You don't know we're talking about you yet.
I mean,
but
except you
we have-
totally said mutant.
And I did say $95 on Etsy. They may put two and two together, but we have plausible deniability.
But also, mission accomplished to that person.
Mission accomplished. But if you happen to see this and you do see it's your doll, my apologies. You did way better than I ever could. So
Oh yeah. Especially if that was the objective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, hey, then
Maybe
Good
it's
job.
supposed to be very unsettling.
well, yeah. I'll just say that like the animals were very cool, and like some of the combinations they came up with is something you'd never think of. And I mean, especially like, you know, lemur bat. Who would think to put a lemur and a bat together? And like, yeah, they made it like in every episode. There's Momo. So yeah, very cool.
Yep.
All right, so let's bring up. So if you were a bender, what type of bender would you want to be?
Oh, what type of bender would I want to be? Oh, fuck, it's probably still going to be the same.
Which is
Waterbender.
Waterbender.
Yeah, it's funny because like I always like, you know, you take those tests and stuff, and I always come up waterbender. So it's like, you know, what would you be? Waterbender. Cool. I asked my daughter, hey, what would I be? You'd be a waterbender. Like, but you're right. And then thinking about it, what type of bender would I want to be? And it's like, yeah, well, this is where it's
Waterbender.
Waterbender. There's water everywhere, and they can heal. And
well, some of them can,
but it's a waterbender thing. They can heal.
It
so,
is.
Obviously, I would want to be a healing waterbender that can also bloodbend, but
Just throwing that one in there.
also piss bend. But what?
No, you don't get that one. You don't.
Yeah,
Pretty
no.
sure all
If
of them
I-
can do that.
I look.
You only
that's
get one. Heal or piss. You only get one.
Look, that kind of power is something I deserve. All right. I would piss.
We don't
Tiffany,
know.
you haven't used the
don't
guild
know.
decree yet.
Ooh, I could use a dildo. Ooh, okay, all right.
Yep. Yep. My
I might want to stay for this conversation.
my little minion just walked in just as I said that I need to piss bend. So
I mean, I used to.
right, high five on that.
Can't they also like beer bend?
Can they what?
Beer bend?
Beer bend? Sure. Yeah, why not?
They
Pin
can
spear,
spear.
same thing.
I mean,
Depending on the beer, yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
yeah.
Lilith, welcome back to the Casters Guild podcast.
Hi.
While we've got you here, what kind of bender would you want to be?
Fire.
Firebender. And
Fire.
why firebender?
Why though?
All right. I'm emotional. Highly
Okay.
emotional. I will cry at anything. I will
Okay,
cry
a lot
at
of,
you kicking a rock.
A lot of firebending comes from passion. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You'd be a very powerful firebender.
Yeah. Also because I like to deal with problems head on and mostly with violence.
Oh. Wait, what?
I'd like to
Oh,
point
boy.
out at this point in time, there's a pretty nice theory going around about why Azula's fire is blue and not red. So, of
Okay.
course, there's the original prevailing theory of blue fire is just hotter than red fire. Like, once you raise fire to a certain temperature, it is blue, it is not red. So, a lot of people are like, oh, her fire is just hotter. But then someone else pointed out that's not the only way to get blue fire. When you burn certain chemicals, certain compounds, they just burn blue, regardless of temperature.
Right.
And one of those things is salt. If you burn
It's
salt,
because she's a salty bitch.
she is
Yeah.
super salty.
That's
She
what I was
is
gonna say.
100% salty, and so that's why her fire is so blue, because she is so salty.
Okay.
I really thought it was about passion, like a
I
moron.
I thought that it was like gonna link in somewhere, and then I was like, oh, I see where we're going.
And I like that theory. I like the theory that Azula's fire is blue because she is salty.
Salty bitch.
Okay.
So that being said, Lilith, would your fire be blue?
I sweat a lot. And
Ooh, sweat bend. I get the sweat bend too.
oh my god.
I'm gonna go ahead and take that as a yes.
Oh no.
Ugh.
Oh, Casters Guild listeners, be very glad that you cannot see us right now and you're only hearing us. So, thank you very much, Lilith. It's been great having you on again. Thank you very much for telling us what you would bend. Ray, what kind of bender
Hold on.
would you be?
I would like to add to this real quick. Hold on. We literally just had this conversation yesterday about what benders we would be. And one of her conditions for being a firebender was because she's willing to kill.
Okay.
The firebenders.
I also like burning. I like fire.
You got to be ready. You got to be ready
Good thing
for that
you're a
Agni
healer.
Kai. You never know.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, you get to dance with dragons too, maybe, depending on if you're friends with the Avatar. You don't know.
So I have also taken a few of those which bender would you be tests, and it always seems to come up as an earthbender, but I don't want to be an earthbender. I want to be a firebender because of the aesthetic.
Oh, the aesthetic, yeah. And you know what? And that's funny too, because that's why I wanted to be an earthbender originally, because it's like I love the aesthetic and I love, like, you know what? I'll make my own fucking house. I don't fucking care. I'll live in a stone house because it's great.
But then you need
really, come on.
energy. You need energy.
But yeah, no,
too.
I'm right there with you. I get it. The aesthetic is wonderful, especially for the firebender. Their
But
houses.
I mean,
So you don't necessarily want to be a
It's-
firebender as much as you just want to be a member of the Fire Nation.
yeah. To be honest, I would be cool not having that level of responsibility, but looking nice without that level of responsibility.
But that's another question though, and that's like something that I think they tackled more in Korra than they did in the original one.
Yeah,
Benders that bend other elements in other nations.
yeah.
Mhm.
Can you imagine if the Fire Nation actually employed Earth benders in their, in their armies and shit?
Yeah.
They'd be done.
So yeah, I could totally see Ray being a badass Earthbender in Firebender duds.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So is that
It's
the
like, I'm
answer?
here.
Earthbender and Firebender duds?
I mean, that would work, to be honest.
You'd end up just being a lava bender.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, that would be so scary, and I love it. So yes.
There you go. Earthbender for the Fire Nation, aka Lava Bender.
I'm gonna fuck up your day.
Fire resistance. I wish lava benders had fire resistance, so they could just
yeah.
bend magma and just.
I mean, if you were really, really good at it, you could just like bend the lava, I guess, around you in such a way.
I mean, theoretically, yes.
Yeah. All right, Tiffany.
So
What
Ray,
type of
you and I are
bender?
opposite. Yeah, Ray
Okay.
and I are opposite there. So I too have also taken those little quizzes, and it always comes up as fire for me. Always, always, always.
Okay.
And it might be because I'm Aries. Like everything that I ever do when it comes to zodiac, fire every time. But I would want to be an earthbender.
Okay.
But I'll most likely end up doing fire. Just
I
because
would
that's
like-
what I am.
The funny thing is, you bring up zodiacs, and I'm a Pisces,
And I'm a
Yeah.
Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
and I also love the moon. So whatever.
Uh-oh.
It just kind of fits.
All right.
Let's go.
So we've got Baron, the waterbender.
You get to be.
We've got Ray, the earthbender for the Fire Kingdom. We've got Tiffany, the firebender for the Earth Kingdom. I guess I'd ruin it if I didn't say air. at this point,
No,
right?
no.
No. He has Guild Decree has to be an airbender.
Ah,
No,
that's
wait, I
so
already-
limiting.
Wait, you're-
You already used your Guild
There
Decree.
you go. There you
You
go.
already used it. I'd kind of ruin it if I wasn't an airbender at this point, right?
Lilith,
I mean, no, it's fine. They were gone for like 100 years. It's no big deal.
Which is why there needs to be more of them.
Oh,
Here's my biggest problem with being an
What am I
airbender.
Hold on, Lilith, just use her Guild Decree. You're an airbender.
Oh God.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh God, she was on the cast.
I got it.
So sad. Too bad.
Here's okay. You say that,
I gotta know
Tiffany, but
everything
here's
about
my
this man.
biggest problem with being an airbender. I
Mhm.
don't know if I could rock the bald look.
Well, hold on.
You don't have to.
There are. Yeah, because what's his? Oh no, he did shave his head, didn't he?
Yeah.
Aren't there
I mean,
like
look-
airbenders who
look.
aren't monks though? Because isn't
No.
it the
I argue that the sandbenders are airbenders.
Oh, they're earthbenders.
I could make the argument that they're airbenders, though.
By canon, they are earthbenders.
Yeah, but even canon can be very wrong sometimes.
Sometimes canon can change.
Lilith, use your Guild Decree.
All right, I'll do that. I will.
I thought
Oh,
I thought
we
she
can't-
already did that.
No, she was kidding.
Lilith already did. Lilith already used
No,
that.
she took it back. She took it back.
Yeah, I'm the one that said it. She never really said it.
She revoked the decree that
Okay,
was falsely
but
put in
let's-
her name.
But also,
But let's
even Ray was saying that he would be like the Earthbender, but with the Firebender aesthetic. So
no, but no. Let to be real, just to be real. Since
Yeah.
everybody is really going into it,
and then he just starts earthbending. Like,
I've always taken the quizzes too, and I've always thought about what I wanted to do. And I'm very similar to Baron, and I always got water. I'm a Pisces. I always wanted to be a waterbender because I thought, and my biggest thing with waterbending was I always thought the
piss bending.
switching between water's form.
Oh,
So like switching from water to ice to vapor to like, and back and forth again. I always thought that was super cool. But that being said, really thinking about it, the ability to fly would just be so amazing. And like one of the things I think is super cool, and I don't know if they ever did their research on this and this is why they made airbenders able to fly and, air bisons able to fly. But the way flight works for airplanes is by Bernoulli's principle, where basically they shape the wings in such a way that the air pressure underneath the wing is heavier than the air pressure above the wing, and that creates lift. And if you were an airbender, you could do that so easy. You could create the differences in air pressure to make yourself lift and glide. Like you wouldn't even need the glider, really. It would just help.
mm-hmm.
And I think just because the power of flight alone, and I feel like the freedom that you could feel flying around and soaring through the air, I think I will say airbender. No guild decree needed, airbender.
Nice.
But I'm keeping my long hair. I'm not shaving my head. Maybe I'll get some of the airbender tattoos, but I'm not shaving my head. I'm keeping the flowing locks. I need to feel the wind in that hair as I fly around.
Okay, that's fair. You might get some more drag, but like it's cool.
Yeah, but I can bend the air, so who cares? As soon as I feel it drag, I'm like, no, it's not anymore. And then,
It's true. So we did it, actually. Actually,
Yes.
with no pressure, we actually did it. I'm proud of us right now.
Good job, team.
So I wanted to bring something up only because I follow an artist who I think is amazing in everything they do. But it also brings up the idea of there being a world outside of the continent that is happening with Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
So this artist, give me 1 second here.
While we're waiting on you, I'll just sip on some cactus juice because
Hey,
it's the quenchiest.
Would you consider Avatar an anime or just a cartoon?
okay, so this is part of the
Well, Tiffany, if you listen to our anime episode, you would know that we guild decreed that it is an anime.
yeah. And I will say that outside of our guild decree, I would not personally qualify this as an anime, but I could give two shits less what people call this. They can call it an anime, animation, cartoon, whatever they want. It's a great story, and it's stupid how out of shape people get over people calling this a fucking anime. So
Yeah.
I always thought that it was an anime.
I've always called it an anime.
yeah.
The fact of the matter is, it doesn't really matter. But
Right.
Yeah.
But it matters to some people out of some reason. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm on point now. So the artist's name is Marcus Williams, and he does fan art of Avatar, I guess, except it's African. So they're all African style characters. It's set in a fictional world again, or a fictional country, but it's Legend of Abioye.
Oh wow.
That's really cool.
So
It is.
yeah, you guys, anybody listening right now, if you get a chance, look up Marcus Williams. You can even just look up Marcus Williams.
Avatar. Probably.
Yeah, and it's amazing. He has a lot more than just that, and that really brings up the idea of, I mean, what different cultures would exist in this world, and would they have access to bending? I would love to see like an African style country that would have access to bending. I would love to see Polynesian waterbenders.
Yeah.
Just like a whole island chain of Polynesian waterbenders that just fuck people's shit up whenever they try to land on their islands.
I mean, while we're at it, I mean, like, it wouldn't even have to be the types of bending that we're familiar with at this point. I mean, if these different nations come up with, they each have their own type of bending, who knows what happens on the other side of the world that hasn't even been, quote unquote, discovered by the people of that, continent yet. Who knows what kind of types of bendings they might have access to.
And who's to say that they even bend, like, let's just say they do bend the same elements. Maybe they don't bend them the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there is a world or maybe there's a country that doesn't even use bending for fighting. And, like, they dance to bend the elements. And, like, they use these,
cool.
And they use these dances to build these beautiful structures, this architecture, and, or even there's another culture that does shit like mages in D&D. Like, they read out of a book and they lay out formula, and that's how they bend. Well, oh wait, am I just doing Avatar? Or am I just doing Full Metal Alchemist now?
Yeah. That one went pretty.
But I mean, like, you're not
right.
wrong. I mean, just because you're doing it.
Guild Decree, Full Metal Alchemist happened in the Avatar world.
Stop using the Guild Decree you don't
have any left.
Oh wait,
Lilith, gun to your head, use your Guild Decree.
Alright.
Go ahead.
No, I'm using it. I'm actually using it.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
Oh, for real? Oh.
Guild Decree.
All right, get on the mic.
All right. Oh, yeah, you got to get on the mic. What's your Guild Decree?
I decree that Full Metal Alchemist happened in the Avatar universe.
Okay.
There it is.
Sure.
It's official.
So now they can blend animals together with humans.
No!
Oh no! Oh no! It was fine, and then it
That took
wasn't.
a dark turn.
And that's how we got the different animals in Avatar?
Yes.
No.
No, do not like.
Oh, we're all sad now.
We made a horrible mistake, didn't we?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Mhm.
It was automatic regret.
And later, when I'm editing
my
this,
Guild
I'm going to
Decree.
have to write that down.
Hold on. Guild Decree. I got one. Okay, so yes, what Lilith said
hold
is
on.
true.
Hold on. We're trying not to do guild decrees that just straight up nullify other guild decrees. So
No.
Okay.
It's not. Just let me do it.
And also, I want to point out that her saying merging the animals is part of that decree.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, what Lilith said is happening. However, it's in the movie, not.
Well, no, because we've established that the movie is a play.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
Which happened in the Avatar world. So it's.
I don't think
Still,
you're changing
but-
very much.
I don't.
But if it's a play, it's all theatrics.
Sorry, Tiff.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I don't like it.
I know.
Sorry.
I know.
Okay.
We unleashed evil upon this world in the name of good.
Sometimes that happens.
Don't like it.
So essentially, Full Metal Alchemist is like hundreds of years after the Legend of Korra, and bending is just on a different continent known as alchemy. And
No. Is it alchemy? It's not called alchemy. I thought it was Albion or something like that.
I don't know. Well, no, they say alchemy. I mean, they say alchemy
Yeah,
a lot. Like the first law of alchemy is equivalent
That's
exchange
just
or
the
whatever.
stuff that
So
they're doing, though. That's
Yeah.
not the country. I think that's what Brad.
No. Oh no. Yeah. So like in a different continent, bending is just called alchemy.
Amestris. Amestris is the country.
Okay. So
Yeah. So I was actually just saying that they called bending alchemy in there.
Oh, my bad. I thought you
Yeah.
were talking about the country. Yes.
Yeah.
Called it.
Yeah, you totally did. So they just call bending alchemy from where they're from because that's their culture and everything like that. So yeah, I get it. That makes sense.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't like where it went, but you know.
Yeah. No, you know what? It could be. What it could be is like all those crazy animals existed. And you said it happened hundreds of years in the future, right?
Yeah.
So, but that bear, the Earth King's bear, was a mutation that was happening, and it ended up spreading across the whole animal kingdom, turning them all into like just normal animals.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then people making chimera at that point was them remembering, hey, we used to have these badass animals, these weird chimera type animals. Let's try to make them again. And then things went
that
south,
makes
so
sense.
they had to make laws. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We still all feel kind of uneasy about it, don't we?
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
We're
not
still
gonna
just like-
fix that. Yeah, there's nothing you can say that's gonna fix that.
I'm so proud of her.
I'm
So,
glad I made this cast.
I love how this just derailed the whole thing.
All right, so Avatar.
But yeah. But let's just bring it back. Yeah, if you get a chance, look up Marcus Williams' stuff. You
Yeah, please
guys,
do.
viewers
It
at
looks really
home.
cool.
Oh, did you look some up?
Well,
Oh,
not
no,
only just what you just showed me. Yeah,
gotcha.
it's just I can just vouch for, because I saw what you showed. I'm vouching for you, for the listeners at home, that it does look really cool.
Mhm.
It is worth your time looking it up.
I want to go hug my daughter and my dog, but
hug
not
it
at
too
the
hard.
same time.
Don't hug
Not
them
at the
too
same
tightly.
time. Not at the same time.
Did anybody else like ship Zuko and Katara?
There for a while. I thought that they were going to be together. Yeah, I knew that they were working on.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
In the
well, I
beginning,
mean,
yes.
in the beginning of him being a protagonist, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Okay.
a big thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought
That's
she was
so-
the one to like turn him
What
around.
was that called?
That's a big gross
I think
thing.
they call that Zuara shippers.
What?
Mm,
Yeah, Zuara shippers are a big part of the Avatar fandom.
Utara.
Okay, so 100% honest.
That's a
Uh,
shit name.
I have
Which
not even dipped vaguely
That's what we're talking about.
into Atla fanfic,
I think.
I mean,
Okay.
be careful.
which is rare for me, as you guys know me.
My opinion.
Right.
Sure.
So I don't know what the big ships are for this fandom. I just know that I was like, oh, well, I think they're cute.
They would have been.
So would you prefer that over the Aang Katara?
No, I didn't say that.
Tang.
That's why I asked.
They could be poly.
That's
I
what
don't
they call
care.
it.
Is it
So all
really?
three of them?
It's Katang. Yeah.
Yes, Katang. It's what
I
it's called,
hate
yeah.
it.
It sounds like Boomerang gets thrown down a hallway.
Ah, why are ship names so fucking stupid sometimes?
Because the creators
you
of the
have-
names aren't thinking about what the ship names are going to be for these characters.
Would you have preferred Aang Tara?
Okay,
He's like, no, I don't prefer ship names at all. Fuck them.
I'm okay with ship names that are like not a mixture of the people's names. I don't like those. I think they're infantile. I'm preferential to ship names that are like titles for those characters or aspects of those characters.
So
like,
on the fly right now, I'm going to need you to make up a ship name for Aang and Katara and Zuko and Katara.
And you're going to have to put USS in front of each one.
what?
Shit. I'm leaving.
Tiff will not go down with this ship.
No. No. Gonna take
I'd
that
like to
little
point out-
phone and go.
I'd like to point out the thing that literally derailed the podcast and made us all sad. Tiffany still didn't leave, but the bad pun. That's where she draws the line.
I was too immobilized by depression the first time.
Look, I'm just saying, there's probably some ships I'd go down on, but none of the ones in Avatar.
Oh no! Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I mean, no, but so the issue I'm having is that like, because there are a number of titles that you can use for Zuko, And there are a couple of titles that you can use for Aang.
Ooh,
But-
the Blue Spirit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like something like that. But
No, I like Tang.
Katara.
Okay,
The
all right.
problem.
While Ray thinks, let's talk about the Blue Spirit for a second. So it is obvious, if you look in the background, that the Blue Spirit is not a character that Zuko made up. Like, Zuko is not the Blue Spirit. The Blue Spirit is a legend told to the children of the Fire Nation. And the Blue Spirit is a mass-produced mask, because in the festival they all go to, the fire festival they go to, you see the mask salesman selling Blue Spirit masks, which is...
Time out. Are you telling me that Zuko essentially dressed up like Batman
Yes.
to beat up bad
I
guys? It would be like me putting on a Batman mask. Well, okay, me that knew how to fight. Put on a Batman mask, went outside and beat somebody up, and came back in, took it off, and said, that wasn't me.
Yes, but it's way cooler than what you're saying, because actual ninjas, actual historical ninjas did this all the time. They would
Historical ninjas dressed up like Batman and beat people up? Oh my god, Batman is dressing up like ninjas. Where does the
other way around.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
So, like, ninjas would take popular characters from kabuki plays, mostly Oni, and use those masks when infiltrating, because people would recognize the mask but wouldn't recognize the person. It was an easy way to blend in but not give away who you were. So, and if you look at not only that, but the techniques, Zuko ninja techniques, they were on point. And whether it was on accident or on purpose, the means of ingress and egress that Zuko used as the Blue Spirit were all ninja, shinobi accurate, and not like to ninja movies and stuff like that, but to actual ninjas, and the ways and the techniques they would use to infiltrate and then escape. And not only did he do it as the Blue Spirit, but even after he got rid of the mask and on missions he went on with Sokka, dressed as Fire Nation guards, using it to infiltrate the Fire Nation encampment and obtain information, were all actual ninja techniques as well, which I think is just super cool.
Yeah. I will say though, and even though he didn't have the mask on, I still believe that he was doing this as the Blue Spirit. When Jet came into the tea shop and tried to throw down, Zuko whipping out that dude's swords and ready to... Yeah. That was badass. He was like, look, I'm not going to burn you. I can just whip your ass with these swords. Like,
the second time he appeared as the Blue Spirit, he even used substitution jutsu.
Shut up. He made a log appear out of nowhere?
That's not what substitution jutsu is, just because Naruto says it is.
Oh.
But no,
this is why his favorite is Sokka.
If you remember, he led the guy around the corner, and the corner saw the Blue Spirit standing there and attempted to attack the Blue Spirit, and it turned out to just be a straw man wearing the mask.
Okay.
And then the actual Blue Spirit, Zuko, appears behind him, drops down behind him, and then he's got it. He's his prisoner. So he actually used substitution jutsu the way a real ninja would use it.
Okay. So no log?
No log. Well, I think a log was involved in the straw makeup. All right, Ray, now that I've gone off on my Blue Spirit tangent, let's hear those ship names.
Okay, so I could only figure out a good one for the Zuko Katara, because there's not a good alternative besides Avatar, and I hate it. So, but we have Sugar Spirit, and that's cute.
Okay, so explain to me how you got to Sugar Spirit.
Okay, so Spirit because Blue Spirit. That one was super easy. Katara doesn't really have any like official titles besides like what we find out in Legend of Korra when she's got like her master title for her bending style. So I instead was like, okay, well, what do the other characters call her? And Toph always gives cute nicknames, and consistently likens her to Sweetness rather, Sugar Queen, Sugar Princess, I think at one point. And so I just took that.
And that would be totally something that Toph would call the two of them.
Yeah, 100%.
In fact, actually, I would argue that Toph probably invented ship names in that world.
That's in character. That's
All
in
right.
character.
So we've got the USS Sugar Spirit. Gotcha.
You know what? That's my fucking guild decree. That's what it is now.
Is that that's the
okay,
ship
you have
name?
to say it from beginning to end. Guild decree.
So, guild decree. It is no longer Zatara. It is now Sugar Spirit.
All right.
All right, there it is. Guild decree.
That's what it is.
Guild decree. I legitimately
Also-
thought your guild decree was going to be that Toph was the creator of ship names. And
Oh, no.
The Last Airbender.
No. That's silly and I like it, but no. That will remain a headcanon, unconfirmed by any...
By any decrees. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That I can only faintly hear.
But the Sugar Spirit is now the official ship name. I like it.
That works.
All right, so
Like,
do you have a
Go ahead.
favorite episode?
Yes.
Which is
You know which one.
I think I'm pretty sure I do. But
Yeah, the episode, and it sucks too because it is such an emotional episode, and I know that I have other episodes that I love. Like I love the Swamp Bender episode. I love the faceless demon from the spirit world episode. But the one that really gets to me is the I don't know the name of the episode, and I should, but it's the one where the focus is on that part that focuses on Iroh, where he goes and pays tribute to his son.
Yep.
Not that
Sure.
one.
And I'll tell you, because it hits me on so many different levels. Because even before they dropped the part where Mako had died, where they said, rest in
in
peace,
memory
Mako.
of yeah.
I was already crying.
Right.
And then that hit, and it was just like it broke everything inside of me. I became a different man that day. That day, the Baron, was born. Brad had died.
Ray, what's your favorite episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender and/or Korra, The Legend of
Okay,
Korra?
so we actually already referenced this episode, maybe twice even. It's the City of Walls and Secrets, which is the episode where they get to Ba Sing Se trying to find Appa, and they have to infiltrate the party for the bear. And that's the same episode where Zuko and Iroh are working at the tea shop, and Jet comes in and accuses them of being firebenders.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I did. I referenced that one at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been referenced even if the episode directly wasn't referenced, we've referenced things from that episode.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
several
one's my
times.
favorite episode, which is really funny because that's actually the first episode that I ever saw.
Oh, neat.
That was the first one when I was watching it syndicated that I managed to catch. And I thought that it was really weird and didn't make a whole lot of sense when I first watched it, but now it does,
Sure.
and I love it. What about you, Tiff?
So I have seen Avatar in its entirety, but it's been a couple years, so I don't remember the exact episode, but I do remember snippets of episodes that I'm like, wow, I really like that moment. For example, when Toph joined the whole little family unit there, and after a while she was with them, she ended up running away because she thought they hated her, but then them going after her. That episode there when she finally realized this is my tribe, this is my family. I remember loving that. I don't remember what episode that is, but that one.
Okay, good one.
Yeah. I don't remember. I just remember snippets.
Yeah, I'm horrible at fucking.
I had to look it up because I couldn't genuinely remember if the
that's
bear
fine.
party was in the same episode as the other, as the tea house. So I had to figure out whether that was the same episode or two different episodes.
Right. I don't know.
I'm going to be the only person to name an episode from The Legend of Korra and say the episode where she joined the Fire Ferrets.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The episode where she became a member. Yeah, and like that whole sport that they came up with, where you use 3 different benders to do 3 different jobs, and like that.
Oh,
I mean, I hate the overuse of the phrase "blew my mind," but like seriously, like how do you come up with something like that? And like it's just super cool. Like
Speaking
once
of
again,
blow.
I mean, I feel like I'm just gushing, but it's super cool.
speaking of blow, my dumbass was like, why don't they put airbenders in there?
They're like are like none. There's a couple,
Right,
but
right,
they are like
right.
none.
It had to be explained to me, like, but there's like only one. I'm like, oh yeah, shit. Well, at the end there was more, yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's a good one. I like it. All right, so I'm going to talk about this real quick. It's going to lead into what is your least favorite Avatar episode, and I just found a list because I'm like, because there was one list that there was one that is apparently universally reviled, and I don't agree. But I found a list, and it's done by, and I'm not going to say who it is because I'm not going to call them out, but I will say that they are a channel on YouTube, and apparently they're pretty awesome. What?
Okay.
What?
Nothing. Mm.
So they're number 10. Their number 10 is the Serpent's Pass.
What?
That is the secret tunnel one, isn't it? Or is that the dragon one?
Pretty sure it's the dragon one.
Yeah, no, it's the secret tunnel one.
What?
Team Avatar has to pass through a dangerous route to get to the city of Ba Sing Se.
No, I think that one is the one where you've got the 2 clans.
Aang is still dealing with the loss of Appa. I don't know. Anyway,
I think that's the one with the 2 clans, and they had the 2 sides of Serpent's Pass, and Sokka went with one clan, and Katara went with another clan, and Aang was walking in the middle, and they weren't allowed to bring food, but both of the clans brought food.
is that what it was?
I think. Could be talking out my ass here.
Well, number 9. Oh, wait, you're right. Number 9 is Jet, the episode Jet, book 1, chapter 10. You ready? You know how I know that it wasn't the secret tunnel episode? Number 8, the Cave of Two Lovers,
Which is the secret tunnel episode.
Which is the secret tunnel
which
episode.
is apparently worse than the Serpent's Pass, apparently, according to this channel.
I can kind of agree with the Serpent's Pass thing. That wasn't a great episode.
Oh my god!
If it's the episode I was thinking of, the
It's
one with
hilarious.
the 2 clans, I didn't.
No,
Yeah.
with the moles.
No, the Badger Moles were in the secret tunnel episode, I think.
That was the secret tunnel episode.
Yes, I'm saying the other one, the Serpent's Pass one. With the
Oh yeah,
2
no,
clans.
that's what I'm saying. That's how I
Yeah.
know that one isn't.
Yeah,
Because
I
this
can
one
agree that episode. I don't think that was a great episode.
Number 7 is the Waterbending Master. That's book 1, chapter 8, when they go to the north.
Yeah, I guess that's when Aang is trying to convince that master to teach him.
All right, you ready for
But
this
he
one though?
won't teach Katara.
Right. Well, that was a good episode. The 6 is Sokka's Master. They hate me. They fucking hate me. That's the one where he learns how to sword fight. Number 5 is the Swamp with the Swamp. Right? I don't even know which one he's reacting to right now. Sokka's Master.
Yeah.
Number five is the Swamp. Number 4 is the Painted Lady. That's the one with Katara as the
Yeah.
Oh my god, these are good episodes.
I feel
Number
like those
3 is
are all
Headband.
great episodes.
They really are. I don't know what the headband is, and I'm not going to read through it because I'm trying to. Number 2 is Bato of the Water.
Oh, yeah, that episode wasn't very strong because that was the one with their dad, Katara and Sokka's dad.
Yeah, if I don't remember
okay,
them, they probably aren't great. Number 1, the worst episode. They say, "Oh, who are you kidding? You know it's the Great Divide."
I think all the Avatar episodes are great.
Oh, that's the one with the 2 tribes, right?
Yeah,
That might have been the one I
Is
was
that the
talking
one-
about.
Is that where the one where we find out that Avatar Kyoshi is just a straight up killer?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think my least favorite episode, just because it didn't seem as cohesive as the rest of it, was the one where they the weird Avatar festival that they wander into. That's actually all about how everybody hates the Avatar.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That one was just a really weird episode, and it didn't really feel like it fit.
It was awkward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I felt like it. There were a lot of just random convoluted things going on that didn't make a whole lot of sense or try to make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
I say right after you say it doesn't make sense, but you know what I meant.
Makes sense that it doesn't make sense.
Right.
My least favorite episode would be the one I was trying to describe. I don't know if that's the Great Divide or the Serpent's Pass or whatever, but like the one with the two tribes where neither of them are supposed to bring food. They both bring food, and you know everybody's tired and everybody's hungry, and like Aang ends up getting really upset, and then he makes up a parable in order to get the two tribes to get along, and like
I do remember that one.
Yeah, I don't like that episode.
I didn't mind it.
I could see why you don't like that
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't like any episode where, like in the beginning when Appa was kidnapped, I didn't like any of the torture stuff that they did to the animals. None of that. Didn't like any of it.
Yeah, but remember, because of the alchemy, that's
Stop
how.
it!
Okay.
No.
Shush your whore mouth.
Right? No. But honestly, I'm kind of with the list. I didn't like the Secret Tunnel one. I'm not a fan.
Oh,
I know it's a fan favorite, but I'm not a fan of it.
Well, I'll tell you another reason why I liked it is because of that awkward scene that Katara and Aang had in it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was like that whole, everybody was like, oh yeah, they're going to get together. And then it's like awkward moment. No, you're not. You know, I love it that they threw that in our faces.
yes, they did.
It's like, fuck it. Things aren't as organic as we want them to be sometimes. And it's fine. And it's great.
Yeah.
You shouldn't force that shit. And I love that that was in a show that was mainly directed at kids. Kids that are watching things that see romantic situations on TV that think that shit is going to be easy, or, you know, shit that, like, they think that relationships are going to be easy.
No.
Exactly. So, yeah. But I can also see how it could be kind of annoying. So
Very. Very.
Can I just say that I think the hippie tribe should have been in it more?
You can say that, sure.
That's why you hated it. Awesome. Okay. All right. My least favorite episode is the beach.
The beach.
I don't even remember a beach.
I can't stand beach episodes in anime, and they decided to put a. So yeah, I think that, I mean, I know that we just talked about how long we've been talking about this, but I mean, there's so much material that we didn't even go over that I think that would have added another 6 hours of this podcast. And I love that about this world. And I hope that we keep getting more material that we can just keep talking about. In fact, I would love to be able to do 8 more podcasts on the Avatar, because it's great. It's had such a wonderful impact on our culture. And if you can't see that impact, sorry, maybe you should watch Avatar more. If you haven't seen it and you're listening to this, please go watch it. It is so good. There are so many cultural relevancies. There's such good art in it. I mean, if you pause it in the right spots, yeah, it may look a little weird, but the art's wonderful. The stories are wonderful. Watch Korra, watch Avatar, read the comic books. Oh my God, the music. And it's great. It's great. There's a reason why we had such a hard time talking about our least favorite episodes, and we probably could have gone on and on about our most favorite episodes. So yes, please do me a favor. Go watch that. And I will probably have some personal promotions in the text. So
Avatar is super cool, except for the movie, which is super lame. Thanks for tuning into this episode. New episodes of the Casters Guild podcast posted on Mondays. Check us out on twitch.tv/Casters Guild. We've got the extra live stream coming up in the first weekend of November. If you have any questions or want to talk to us, you can reach us at castersguild@gmail.com. Thank you very much. And before we all say bye, I'd like to leave you with this. It's a long, long way to Ba Sing Se, but the girls in the city are oh so pretty.
Secret tunnel! Secret tunnel! Through the mountains! Secret tunnel! Yeah!
Bye, everybody!
Bye!
Bye.
Bye! Bye!
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.